today is a day that most of you have been waiting for. As you can see, I have my intake here. Took everything out of the big box because I didn't want to have to put it in the trunk. I'm going to load all this stuff into Midnight, and we're gonna head over to the shop because it's actually not raining today and I want to get this done. So we're gonna head over to the shop and we're gonna install the short ram. So stay tuned, guys. And we are off.
She said, you're the worst, you're the worst. All my friends are dead, push me to the edge.
Why is it always when you're trying to go somewhere, people drive the slowest? Like, does that happen to you guys? Cause it happens to me all the time. Oh shit, 9th gen. That's what's up. All right, so we're officially at the shop right now. I'm gonna do this outside today because it is a nice day out, as you guys can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pretty much taking, this whole stuff has to come out, like all your whole stock airbox. Remember to disconnect your negative terminal from your battery. I think that this car had a short ram on it before I bought it, and he converted it back to stock when he sold it to me. Should have known. All right, sensor is out, guys. I released this. I'm gonna go ahead and take the airbox off next. All right, next, guys, we're gonna take off the bottom part of the box here. So you have 3 10mm bolts. You're gonna have 2 on the top, 1 right here, 1 in the back, and then you're gonna have 1 that sets deep down right behind your brake master cylinder. You're gonna disconnect it from the bottom hose here. The box is out. So I said I was gonna do a special shout out to, let's see, Brian Dirksen. Hopefully I got that correct. I'm horrible with pronouncing names. Bry guy said that I got the intake for the mod. Dude, you were correct, and I want to give you props on that. So also, pretty much for whoever knew that it was an intake, huge shout out to you as well. Next, we're gonna work on taking this hose off here, the one connected to the throttle body. So we're releasing one of the breather hoses here. That's off. I'm gonna I have to get this one off next here. Easiest way is just using these type of pliers, and you have to grab onto the clamp with the teeth and then move it back, and then just, it'll come off with your hand. Here we go, off. I work on this clamp right here. This little bolt is a 5.5mm, and since my Phillips head stripped on the top, I have to use a ratchet on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. That is off. Hopefully this intake fits with my throttle body spacer. Go ahead and take your pliers and just get this whole hose off, because K&N gives you a newer one, so we're gonna use that. So this can go, slide right off. Next thing we want to do is we need to undo this coolant bypass hose. So there's a clamp right there, and then there's a clamp right here under the throttle body, the first one with the 90-degree fitting. So it says make sure that your engine is cold, and this thing is kind of warm right now, judging by the temperature of the coolant hose. So I think I'm gonna wait till this thing cools down. So I'm gonna go ahead and release this clamp here and hopefully get this thing off. See, I drip coolant literally everywhere. That's what happens when the engine is still hot. So make sure your engine is cold, okay? So once you get that this part of the hose off, you're gonna come over here to the front, and like I said, there's a fitting, a 90-degree on the top. You're gonna take this first flathead screw off, and then we can take this whole hose will be removed. Your engine is hot like mine. As soon as you take your coolant bypass hose off, you want to make sure you install the new one, because you will leak coolant, and I just did down there, so I have to go ahead and install this new one on as fast as possible. So K&N provides you with these new clamps. We're going to use these on the coolant bypass hose. I'm going to put one on this end, and I actually have to take this end off again to put one on the end of that. All right, so we got the new coolant bypass hose right here. As you can see, it's definitely longer than the original one, so we're gonna go ahead and slap on the piping now for the K&N. Next, we're gonna install the mass airflow sensor into the K&N tubing here. There we go. Just get it released. So all you need is this, obviously, and then the 2 screws that it came with. Next up, we're going to install the studs that K&N provided us into the air filter adapter here. You just have to go finger tight with these. All right, then you're gonna go ahead and put a gasket over those, just like that. Then we're going to take the adapter and we're going to place that right into the heat shield, just like that. Just like that. And then the exposing threads, you're going to take the other gasket provided, and you're going to go ahead and put that over the top. Next, we are attaching the K&N intake tube onto the heat shield here. So I have my little bolts and washers that I'm going to put around the studs here. After you mount on the intake tubing, there is a mounting bracket that the kit provides you with, and all you're going to do is take a screw with a washer and then with another one of those 10 mils in the back, and all that's going to do is mount right onto this piece right here where your old airbox came off one of the studs, and this is the spacers that are provided with it. So you want to put one on there. It's going to mount on there just like that. We're going to go ahead and install the air filter. Obviously it should be easy. It's just a cone with a clamp. We're going to install that right onto this back part, and we're going to connect a few hoses and clamps. All right guys, finishing up the last steps here. I already caught a 2.5 inch piece off of this 5/8 PCV tube hose or whatever, and now I have to do a 6.5 inch off of this hose for a 90-degree fitting. So let's get the 6.5 inch caught, and then I should be good. Everything else in the intake is all put together, so all I have to do is do this last step, and I'll bring you guys out there and show you how it looks. So here's the fitting that I'm talking about right here. So you're gonna have your 2.5 inch piece going on this side here, connecting into your valve cover. That is what it looks like installed, everybody. Right there. There is the fitting with your 2.5 inch right there, and then your 6.5 down there. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my mass airflow sensor right on the bottom here. So after the whole install, this is how everything looks, guys. There's your fitting. You got the K&N, you got the cone right in the back there with your rubber padding, so there's no rubbing against your ECU or anything. And then this bottom hose here, that gets clamped down tight. And then here's all the hoses on the side here, your mass airflow sensor, along with your clamp onto your throttle body. And everything fits perfect, even with the P2R throttle body. So we're gonna fire this thing up and see how she sounds. Checking for leaks and everything. I don't hear anything. There is no check engine lights as of right now. I think we're gonna take it for a rip, but I'm gonna make you guys wait for the next video. So stay tuned for some VTEC pulls in the 07 Civic Si Project Midnight. And remember, never stop wrenching.